Good evening, and welcome to In Focus, Bloomsburg University's half-hour TV news feature show bringing you stories of interest to BU students, faculty, staff, and the people of Bloomsburg and its surrounding communities. I'm your co-host, Madison Scheich.
And I'm Breon Young. Ever wondered what it's like to put on a TV news feature show and take a behind-the-scenes look at the equipment and technology? This week, with the students off campus on spring break, In Focus goes in depth to give you an insider look at what takes place in production of this weekly television news feature show. In Focus will be right back.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to In Focus. First up, let's go behind the scenes to find out what our Downtown Rundown segment correspondents, Aaron Kaplan and Maureen Meyer, have to say about their work reporting on the topics involving the town of Bloomsburg.
I actually have two things that I really enjoy doing when producing the segments. I like the B-roll, I like shooting B-roll, and I love the editing part. Shooting B-roll, I really like finding like creative ways to like go downtown and just find like different shots. And I guess just the editing, just piecing together the different shots to put over the interviews. I just really enjoy doing that, and just syncing up the timing like perfectly to my liking. It's just something I like to do a lot.
So my favorite part is probably going out into the town to get B-roll, and then also like meeting so many different people for the interviews. I think that's a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of different personalities. And just shooting B-roll in general is a lot of fun because you get to try out different shots, and people look at you funny, which is always fun.
I think the hardest part about producing each segment is probably time management. Just like knowing when to shoot, like when to email, like set up interviews, and just like planning out each day. It can be kind of stressful, but we really have to learn to like manage our time well and not waste a lot of time. So
Scheduling is so hard. Because, we're working with a partner, so we need a camera person, and then we also need, an interview. Actually, we need more than one interview. We need a couple interviews, and then we have to go out and get the B-roll, and then and everyone's schedules are busy. Nobody has the exact same schedule, so it's really difficult to find time where people are completely free and are able to help contribute to the project. I think that's honestly really the most difficult part. Yeah.
as I mentioned before, I guess I have improved my interviewing skills. I feel like it really, actually with our segment in particular, the downtown segment, we really get to interact with the locals more, and I think that's really good. It really just reinforces like our social skills, interpersonal skills. I think it really just helps with that.
And just in general, going back to like B-roll wise, learning like what works and what doesn't work with B-roll. Like I found out that just zooming shots work really well, and then like panning with, surprisingly, even if you're not talking about traffic, panning with traffic works really well when you're trying to transition B-roll. So just a lot of things in every realm of production.
I also kind of like how we get to collaborate, I guess, with other groups, and it all forms like one show, like and then it gets aired on BUTV. It's kind of interesting how we're like a small part of it, and then we get to form this bigger show. It's something I've never done before, and it's a new experience, and I really like it a lot. So.
Aaron and I both really enjoyed this class, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the segments we have in store for you this semester.
We just saw how our downtown correspondents go about creating their weekly segments. Let's now take a closer look at how our campus segment reporters Darian Pierce and Eric Watkins put together their packages for their campus lowdown segment.
My name is Eric Watkins. I am with Bloomsburg's In Focus. I am a senior here at Bloomsburg University on the telecom track.
I cover campus news, so that includes anything that relates to the university, student organizations, or things just happening in campus in general.
My favorite part of working these projects is when we all come together. And even though when we come together, I still love when we all mess up, because we all look at each other, we all laugh at what's going on. It's a good time when you're allowed to actually have fun doing this, not be professional about it.
Broadcast journalism is a fun course, but it is also very demanding. It requires a lot of time and energy. You have to find your own stories and then make them a story visually and up to television standards, because it goes on the local channel. Since our focus is like soft news, kind of making news out of just everyday things, and also the time restraints, we have pretty strict deadlines. We have a show every Friday, so it doesn't give us very much time with our other classes and other responsibilities to throw together segments.
The challenging part is reliability in your sources. A lot of times, we'll have everything planned out, and all of a sudden, the last second, the client says, nope, not doing it. So then you have less than 24 hours before you're supposed to have this thing due to find a new story, interview that person, or just do something.
My favorite part of working on this type of stuff is probably the editing and watching it change visually over time into something that is appealing and aesthetically nice.
This class is very, very time consuming. This is definitely a class that you take, like, most students will take like maybe 1 or 2 challenging classes a semester, and then have like, I want to say easy courses, but like less challenging ones. This is a course that you need to take by itself, and then have classes that are not so involved, I should say.
And overall, it's satisfying to see hours of hard work getting compressed into like 3 minutes. You can't tell just from watching the 3 minutes, but there's a lot of time put into those packages. Footage sometimes can be difficult because not everyone is willing to cooperate, and then if they are willing to cooperate with you, you have to make their schedule align with yours, which is difficult. This has been Behind the Scenes of Campus Lowdown with Bloomsburg's In Focus. I'm Darian Pierce.
I'm Eric Watkins.
Have a good night.
realizing the important role of membership in organizations in student life and in what Bloomsburg University has to offer its students, In Focus devotes a weekly segment to this topic. Now, let's take an insider look at what takes place in the production of BU Involved, produced by Eric Falcone and Haley Thomas.
Hi, I'm Haley Thomas. The chance. Wonder what it's like. Hi, I'm Haley Thomas.
And I'm Eric Falcone.
And today we're giving you guys a behind the scenes of what BU Involved is all about. We started BU Involved because we love the idea of meeting new people and just like seeing what some of the student organizations are all about here at Bloomsburg University.
So a typical week for us at BU Involved starts on Monday, where we usually just schedule and plan our interviews. Tuesdays we write out the scripts, our voiceovers, just kind of try to get the story together. And on Wednesdays we spend up to 8 hours sometimes editing it. That definitely is the most grueling, tedious part, but it's all worth it because on Thursday we put the package together and we air the show. So far it's been a great experience. We've met so many people. Like the anime club was really interesting. I didn't even know that club existed until we got to meet them. That was a pretty cool thing. I got to experience Sorority Rush, which was cool. Got to learn all about that. What else? We did the College Republicans. That was interesting as well. We plan on doing the College Democrats sometime. But yeah, it's been a great experience.
My favorite segment that we've done so far was definitely D for Dudes. It was so fun going to see all the guys do their dances and stuff, and also just getting the interviews of why the guys chose to do those talents and stuff. It was definitely really cool to be a part of. Well, there you have it.
That's what goes into making a BU Involved segment.
We'll see you next time when we tackle another student organization.
Students are not immune to hot or trending topics breaking on and off college campuses. So, how does one determine which hot issue to cover on the show each week? Here are Aaron Armstrong and Trey Lingle with the scoop on how an issue takes the front seat in their weekly segments.
I chose Hot Topics because it's something that you can do a story about whatever, whether it's local news, whether it's about Bloomsburg, whether it's national news. We did a lot with politics, so it gave us a wide variety of stories to pick from, so that's why we chose Hot Topics.
How to prepare for my segment is me and my member will look and research current events that have to do with our campus or maybe worldwide that students will be interested in, and then after that, we have to contact maybe teachers, advisors, other students, members of organizations to set up interviews with them. And then we talk to them, we set up the camera, interview them, and then after all we get our footage, we have to go to the studio, we put it onto the program Adobe Premiere, and we'll edit it, set up all the titles, everything like that. And then after we export that, then we film the hosts with all their throws. And then after that, we one main editor will put all the whole project together and export it, and then on Friday we send it out to the TV station.
My favorite story so far would have to be the one about the Husky Leadership Summit. I got to interview a lot of students, and I got to talk to a lot of alumni about the reasons why they come back every year to help us out, and the reasons why they think the Husky Leadership Summit is so successful for the past 11 years.
My favorite story so far was the Beats by Bloom. It was nice to talk to the president and the vice president and see the process that they went through to like start a new club on campus, and just see like how they got members to join.
I think teamwork is extremely important because I know that I would not be able to do any of this by myself. Not only is the equipment heavy, however, bouncing ideas off of each other and just being there to support one another whether we're interviewing students or alumni or faculty, it just helps to have that person there who helps and supports you.
Why is teamwork so important? It's because it's like nice to have someone else look over your project. You know, you may have missed something, or they might have a good recommendation to make your project better, or maybe they could help you come up with new ideas for the next week's project that you didn't see or hear about. So like teamwork in this like field is very important just to make your project better.
I repeated myself.
Yeah. Stop.
I'll do it again. This is weird. I was like, darn it! Do it again. And darn it, that was so good. Okay, cut.
Up next, we'll take an insider look at what our reporters for the Husky Sports Pound do to stay updated on what's happening with the BU athletic program and the steps they take in securing interesting interviews with both athletes and coaches for the sports they cover for the week.
It may look easy, but putting together a weekly sports episode takes a lot more than it may look. Our team of Jenna Kowalski, Wesley Splain, and myself, Breon Young, put long hours into making a production possible. The first step of every episode is to find a hot topic in sports that week. We like to highlight the sports that are currently taking place and like to also highlight a player who is standing out. After discussing our topic, we then hit the field. We contact the players that we need to interview and head to a sporting event. Most of the times the players are very excited to do an interview with us and don't hesitate to say yes. But sometimes we need to try a little harder to get the inside scoop than others. Before our interview, we decide if we are going to bring them into the studio or if we're going to interview them after their game. From there, we make a game plan. After our interview is complete, now it's time to edit. The editing process is what takes the most time. The process of the editing is tedious and needs to be perfect. We decide what to keep and what to cut. During the editing process, we are also gathering recent images to include from sporting events to making it appealing to audience's eyes. After we finish our segment, it's up to the head editor whether our segment passes. If it passes, then we're able to air it and share it with you. Up next, let's hear from our Did You Know reporters Megan Bakari and our In Focus co-anchor Madison Strike on how they help improve our knowledge weekly with interesting facts, stories, and things that makes us all think.
Hi guys, my name is Madison Scheich. I'm one of the co-hosts for In Focus, and I'm also one of the co-anchors for Did You Know?
Hi, my name is Megan Bakari. I'm one of the reporters for the segment Did You Know on In Focus. I also work in the studio to help produce In Focus, and I do some editing as well. When it comes to brainstorming for Did You Know, me and Maddie get together every week and sit down and just kind of look up some different facts, different stats about college students, college campuses, college-related items, and we try to pull together an interesting story based off of those facts.
We usually go and talk to students about our topic. So we go out on the quad. It's a little nerve-wracking because we just are out on the quad. We're randomly asking students about these questions or about these topics. And we're kind of just going out on a limb. We're just asking these students, and they could say no. You know, sometimes they don't even want to speak to us. So we take a leap of faith, and we hope that students want to talk to us about different topics each week. And it's exciting, yet it's nerve-wracking, but it's really fun.
When it comes to interviewing faculty, we try to reach out to them as early on in the week as possible, just because different people have different schedules and we want to accommodate to them as much as we want to accommodate to our deadline. So usually we contact them around a week before. When we contact them, we usually contact them through email unless we know them personally, in which we'll do it in person, but more often through email, and we'll just explain who we are, that we're with our broadcast journalism class, and that we want to set up an interview with them based on the topic for the week. And most faculty and administration have been wonderful and have reached back to us, been very accommodating, and we thank them always for helping us out. Once we have finished both ends of the interviews and we finish just all the filming aspects, we can finally enter the editing room and go in and put everything together. And it's really easy to divvy up all the work between Maddie and myself, because we can just go in and save it on the BU SAN, and then if she has class a certain time, I can work on it, and if I have class a certain time, she can work on it. So it's nice to have that time apart from when we can actually meet to work on the project.
So when we finally have our package for Did You Know, all done, all edited, wrapped together, we come back with the rest of the InFocus team, and everyone's assigned a position, teleprompter, cameraman, producer that week, whatever your position is, and we put on the show, and I am one of the hosts, so I read off the teleprompter, and it's really cool that everyone is working together for one big production. It's really nice to have a whole class working on one big thing together.
Where do students go who need to take a break from their studies and are in constant search of activities that give them the opportunity to just hang out with friends and chill out? They tune in to a Noelle McKee and Basil Mickens weekly segment called Recreation and Nightlife. Now let's take a look at how they put their segment together.
For the entertainment segment, we have different things we do to prepare for our video each week.
What do I do to prepare for my segment each week is, I just basically find something that interests me. Like this past week I did the dance ensemble, and me, you know how I like music and dance and all that kind of stuff. So basically I just try to find a segment that interests me and, you know, try to set up some interviews and things like that.
Well, what I do is I look around on events like on Bloomsburg's Facebook page, website, just look on Facebook, website, like, yeah, Facebook in general. Just look around for events going on, like on campus and in town, just to see what would be happening. And I also ask people like what is going on in town, just to see, get different perspective on just some entertainment events that would be going on that we could cover.
We do have fun making a lot of our segments, but we both have our favorites. My favorite segment, it would have to be the segment that we did with the exchange. I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, I've never actually been in there, and like to you know, have a segment on just like blues itself and anything that defined with blues, being that, you know, blues is such an important part to, you know, music and its history. I thought that one was pretty cool.
I think my favorite segment that we've done so far has been either Healing Through the Arts or the Destination Blues. Both of them did a lot with music and art, both of which things that I love in my life. So that was definitely very interesting to me, and I enjoyed filming those things.
Editing is the most time-consuming part of our videos.
The hardest part to me would probably be finding time to edit. Like, editing is like one of the most important parts in, video production, or, just mass communications in general, putting together videos, things like that. Editing takes a good amount of time to do, so that to me would probably be the most difficult part.
I would definitely say learn your software. Adobe Premiere Pro can be pretty easy, but it's kind of challenging at the same time if you don't know what you're doing. So just, I would say, go through, learn your tools, learn the basics, and then just go from there.
Time management plays a huge part in getting our videos done each week.
What I think I learned the most to me would probably be definitely manage your time. Learning how to time manage and not wait till the last minute to do things is definitely important if you want to be successful, whether that be on the camera, on the radio, behind the camera, things like that. Definitely be punctual and be on time, and don't wait for the last minute to do things. Entertainment can cover a wide variety of areas and subjects.
Entertainment to me would probably be anything like music, dance, art, theater, those kinds of things. Pretty much just anything that is amusing to you or brings joy to your life.
The entertainment that goes on in Bloomsburg, both on and off campus, is always something to look forward to for relaxation and to have a good time.
That's it for this week's edition of In Focus. Join us again next week for more stories of interest to BU students, faculty, staff, and the people of Bloomsburg and its surrounding communities. I'm Madison Scheich.
And I'm Breon Young. Good night.
Good night.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.